My husband installed a hidden camera in the bedroom and never told me. I found it behind the curtain rod one night, blinking red, staring like an unblinking eye. He said it was for safety. That night, I stopped sleeping in our bed. My mother's necklace, gone, my job monitored, my calls traced. Everyone thought he was charming, a dream husband, but I knew what lived behind that smile. That was 6 months ago. Last week, I walked out with Rex, a red notebook in my bag, and a baseball bat tucked behind the door. I wasn't scared anymore. He gave me the necklace the night before our wedding, said it belonged to his mother, now mine. You're my future, he whispered, fastening the gold around my neck. I believed him. Back then, I thought his attentiveness was love. When he insisted I quit my dance class because married women don't shake themselves in public, I nodded, even laughed. My parents called to check in, but he always answered first. She's resting, he'd say, handing me the phone late. I didn't notice the pattern at first. I just thought, maybe this is how marriage works, that necklace. It vanished months later. 2 weeks after we married, I caught him reading my messages. You left your phone unlocked, he said flatly, as if that excused everything. I laughed nervously, brushing it off, but the next day, my phone was different. My notifications no longer popped up. My calendar had events I didn't enter, doctor appointment, lunch with mom, all cancelled. I confronted him. He stared blankly, then said, you forget things, I'm helping you. I started writing things down, hiding notes in my bag. It felt silly, paranoid, but part of me, deep down, knew something was wrong. That red notebook became my shadow after that. The night he smashed my necklace was the night something inside me cracked. I'd worn it every day, even after it disappeared, and reappeared weeks later, missing 2 links. I asked him where he found it. He smiled. Don't worry about things you lose, Aisha. But I did worry because that necklace wasn't lost. It was taken. When I came home late from work, only 15 minutes, he grabbed it from my neck and threw it against the floor. You don't respect me, he muttered, no yelling, just cold fury. I swept the pieces up in silence, heart racing. That night, I began hiding cash under the dog's bed. I applied for a part-time admin job without telling him. I needed my own money, even if it meant lying about volunteering at the mosque. At the interview, I felt alive again, respected, seen. But 2 days later, Karim showed up at the office, smiling, polite. I just wanted to surprise my wife. My boss looked impressed. I felt sick. At home, he was quiet, too quiet. That night, I found my red notebook missing from the drawer. It reappeared a day later, misaligned, like someone had flipped through it. I didn't say a word, but I started copying everything into a backup, in code. I confided in Nadia, my coworker. Sweet, older, always asking if I was okay. Over lunch, I whispered about the cameras, the phone, the necklace. She gasped, that's not normal, Aisha. You need to talk to someone. For a moment, I felt less alone. But the next week, Karim suddenly brought up details I'd only told Nadia. I hear you've been telling stories, he said, smiling thinly. My blood ran cold. Had she told him? Was he listening in? When I asked Nadia, she blinked. I just want what's best for you. I stopped trusting anyone after that. Or so I thought. I tried calling my mother, just to talk, just to feel like myself again, but Karim answered her phone. He'd called ahead. She's busy, Aisha, don't worry her with nonsense. That night, I cried in the bathroom with the shower running. Rex nudged the door, whining softly. I wrapped my arms around him and whispered, you're the only one who sees me. In the fogged mirror, I barely recognized the woman staring back. I wrote in my red notebook that night, he erases me quietly, smile by smile. Then I tucked the notebook inside a cereal box. It was no longer safe in drawers. At the pharmacy, I bumped into Layla, an old school friend who used to call me Firecracker. She gasped when she saw me. Girl, are you okay? You look tired. I almost broke down right there. She scribbled her number, whispering, call me, anything, anytime. That night, I texted her from a prepaid phone I'd hidden in Rex's crate. Can we meet? She replied, of course. Come over tomorrow. He won't know. My heart lifted. But the next morning, Karim handed me my coat with the prepaid phone in the pocket. You left this, he said, just that, no accusation, just control. I didn't go. One night, Rex wouldn't stop barking at the hallway mirror. I pulled it aside, and found the second hidden camera, wired crudely behind the frame. My skin turned to ice. I unscrewed it with shaking hands and dropped it in the trash outside, deep beneath a bag of old takeout. Then I locked myself in the bathroom and stared at the red notebook. My handwriting looked small, panicked. He watches everything, I wrote, but not when I walk Rex. That was the first line of a new plan. Every walk from that day forward became more than routine. It became reconnaissance. I met Layla at a crowded dog park, heart hammering, Rex straining at the leash like he sensed something sacred in this moment. I'm not crazy, I said, handing her the smallest notebook I'd ever owned. Inside were QR codes linked to recordings I'd extracted from Karim's hidden cameras. She flipped through it silently, her face hardening. You need help, real help, legal. I shook my head. He'll know, he always knows. But Layla was already texting someone, a paralegal friend. She looked up. We'll make copies, keep everything off-site. If he comes for you again, we'll be ready. For the first time, I wasn't alone. We hugged quickly, then walked opposite directions like strangers. That night, Karim asked, did you enjoy the walk? His tone was off. Suspicious. I smiled thinly and whispered to Rex, he doesn't know yet, but he will. I left the house with nothing but Rex, my work purse, and a flash drive hidden in his collar. Layla's friend had connected me with the women's legal support group, and I was going to their office just for a consultation. Just to see, but when I returned, Karim was waiting at the window, watching, smiling. You're late, he said. Traffic, I replied, heart pounding. He didn't press, but I noticed the missing bat from the umbrella stand his quiet message. That night, the red notebook was gone again, and this time it didn't come back. I didn't panic, I had backups. Copies spread across flash drives, emails to Layla, even one mailed to a cousin abroad. The law office said my case was strong, but I needed one more thing, proof of physical threat. The thought chilled me. Did I really have to wait for him to snap? I stared at the empty umbrella stand and whispered to Rex, if he touches me, I swing first. He found the flash drive. I knew it the moment I walked in. The silence was too still, the air too cold. Karim stood by the dining table, the flash drive balanced between his fingers like a threat. What is this? He asked, soft and slow. Rex growled behind me. My mouth went dry. Backups. He stepped closer. Of what, Aisha? More lies. He reached for my wrist, hard. That's when I saw the missing baseball bat, leaning beside the kitchen door. My fingers moved before thought caught up. I grabbed it and swung, not at him, but at the vase behind him. It shattered loud and fast. He froze, not because he feared me, but because I wasn't afraid of him anymore. If you touch me again, I said, breathing hard, I will not miss. He stared, stunned, then he left the room. That night, I locked Rex and me in the bedroom and texted Layla, tomorrow, I'm ready to finish this. Layla's paralegal friend, Yasmine, offered to set up a sting. You need one more recording, something direct, something physical or verbal. I agreed. We hid a mini mic inside Rex's collar. That same night, I forgot to make dinner. On purpose. Karim didn't explode. He coiled. You're trying to provoke me, he hissed. No, I'm just tired of pretending. He slammed the chair back. You don't get to be tired. The mic caught everything. But when Yasmine reviewed the audio the next day, she frowned. There's another voice in the background. A male voice. One I didn't recognize, and it was saying my name. The second voice, deep, muffled, was saying my name repeatedly, like a chant. Aisha, Aisha, I froze. That's not Karim, I whispered. Yasmine tried to clean the audio, but it only got creepier. Was someone else in the house? Had he hired someone to follow me? I couldn't sleep that night, every creak in the walls sending me into panic. But the next day, Layla laughed bitterly when she figured it out. It's the baby monitor from the neighbors. Your mic caught it through the wall. Relief hit me like nausea. Not another player, just static, just fear playing tricks. Still, I began wondering, what if next time it isn't? We scheduled the lawyer meeting. Layla would drive me, the flash drives secured in her glove box. But when I stepped outside, Karim was already by the car. Calm, smiling, going somewhere. Layla froze. You said he wouldn't be home. I thought he had a client meeting, she stammered. My stomach dropped. Karim turned to her. Thank you for looking out for her. She needs stability, not chaos. She didn't say a word. Later that night, she texted. I panicked. I didn't tell him. He must have tracked your phone. I deleted the message and tossed the backup burner into a river. Trust was a luxury I couldn't afford anymore. No more plans, no more waiting. I bought a second hidden camera, one Karim wouldn't suspect, and placed it in the vent above the living room, angled at the spot where he always paced while on the phone. Then I cooked dinner, played the part, smiled. That night, I listened from the bedroom as he took a call. She's folding. A few more days and I'll have her back under control. I recorded everything, every word. The next morning, I emailed the footage to Yasmine with the subject line, final piece, file restraining order. Now I didn't need Layla, I needed out. The knock on the door came at 8:17 a.m. Two officers, calm but firm. Mr. Karim Malik, you've been served. His face twisted, confusion bleeding into anger. What is this? Temporary restraining order. You need to vacate the premises within 48 hours. He turned to me, eyes burning. You think this will stop me? I stood tall, Rex at my side, the red notebook clutched tight under one arm. No, I think this was just the beginning. They escorted him out. He didn't scream, didn't fight. But as the door shut behind him, I realized he never expected I'd get this far. He underestimated the woman he tried to erase. At the courthouse, Yasmine guided me through the process, documents, testimonies, timestamps from the recordings. You've done everything right, she said gently. I nodded, but my fingers trembled. In the waiting area, I saw Karim on the bench across from me. Calm, smiling as always, he leaned in slightly. You think anyone will believe you without bruises? I didn't answer. I pulled out the red notebook and held it in my lap, open to the page titled Day 47. He erased the necklace. The bailiff called my name. I stood, knees tight, spine straighter. This wasn't just a case anymore. It was my testimony of survival. I expected silence, cold stares, legal jargon I wouldn't understand. What I didn't expect was my father. He stood at the back of the courtroom, arms crossed, face unreadable. The same man who once said, divorce is shame, endure like your mother did. But as Karim's lawyer questioned my credibility, why didn't she report sooner? My father stood. Because she was raised to survive quietly, he said. But today, she chooses to live. Gasps rippled through the room. I blinked, stunned. After court, he handed me a small velvet pouch. Inside, my necklace, repaired, whole. She left it at our house. He never asked for it back. For the first time, I cried without fear. The night before the final hearing, Karim sent an email. We can fix this. Come home. Let's forget the noise. Attached was a photo of our wedding day, me in gold, smiling like a girl who didn't know better. I stared at it for a long time. Then I replied with one line, the woman in that photo no longer exists. At court the next morning, his lawyer tried a new angle. She's emotional, unstable. But Yasmine presented the audio files. The video, the notebook, time-stamped in digital duplicates. The repaired necklace glinted in the light beside the evidence tray. The judge didn't hesitate. Restraining order permanent. Karim silent. I walked out free. Moving day came fast. Layla showed up with her brother's truck and a box of new locks. We packed only what mattered: clothes, Rex's toys, the red notebook, and the repaired necklace. As we loaded the last box, I noticed Karim standing across the street. Just standing, watching. He didn't approach. Didn't speak. I reached into the moving box and pulled out the baseball bat, walked to the curb, stared him down. He blinked first. Layla whispered, "That's the look of a man who finally sees what he lost." No fear this time. Only clarity. We drove off. I never looked back. The new apartment was small, sunlit, and mine. Rex sniffed every corner like he knew this was freedom. I hung the repaired necklace beside the front door, not as a memory, but as a marker. Survival, ownership. The red notebook sat on my desk, but I didn't write in it anymore. I didn't need to. Instead, I opened a new one. Labeled Firsts, a first safe night's sleep. First laugh without watching the door. First dance class again. The final first, sitting across from another woman at a legal clinic, handing her a pen and saying, "Write it down, all of it. Start here. Because healing multiplies." The silence in my new apartment was deafening at first, but then, it became sacred. I didn't have to whisper anymore. I didn't have to flinch when keys turned in the lock. At night, I sat on the floor with Rex curled against me, and let the quiet wrap around us like a new language. One that meant safety. I found the red notebook under a stack of moving boxes, and ran my fingers across the cover. For the first time, I didn't feel panic looking at it. I felt pride. Every line in that book was proof I hadn't imagined it. That I survived it, I thought. Maybe I hated him not just for what he did, but for how long I let myself disappear under him. And now, I was finding myself again, page by page. My mother visited a week after I moved. She brought food, of course rice and lamb and too many sweets. But also something quieter, her presence, her approval. She didn't say much at first, just looked around the apartment and nodded slowly. Then she handed me a folded paper. My father's handwriting, barely legible. I was wrong. Strength doesn't always mean staying. Sometimes it means walking away. I cried, harder than I expected. She hugged me like she did when I was little, tight, wordless, safe. That moment untied something inside me. The shame I'd carried, the weight of culture and silence. It began to lift. I wasn't the disgrace, I was the legacy. And this place, this life, wasn't exile. It was my beginning. I framed the red notebook's last page and hung it beside the front door, right under the repaired necklace. Visitors always ask what it means. I just say, evidence and inheritance. Two things no one can take from me again. The baseball bat still sits in the umbrella stand, but it's not about fear now. It's a memory of the night I chose myself. And Rex, he sleeps like he owns the place. Maybe he does. He earned it, same as I did. Sometimes I still check the locks twice. Trauma leaves echoes, but now, I speak without shrinking. I dance again. I laugh without scanning the room. I don't just live. I claim my space, and that's the difference. Before I survived him. Now, I live for me. Karim violated the restraining order once. Just once. He followed me from the grocery store, stood beside my car, smirking like nothing had changed. But everything had. I didn't panic. I didn't cry. I pressed record on my phone, captured his face, his words. "I miss what we had, Aisha." I looked him dead in the eye. "What you had was control. What I have now is law." He was arrested within the hour. Multiple charges stuck this time: harassment, digital surveillance, coercive control. The court didn't just grant permanent protection. They ordered counseling, public record exposure, and blocked contact. His charm finally cracked under the weight of documented truth. He looked smaller in the courtroom, not like a monster, just a man, and monsters only win if we keep them hidden. I didn't rush into anything after the case closed. No new job titles, no social media empowerment posts. I just rebuilt slowly, brick by brick. I enrolled in a community self-defense course, started volunteering at the legal clinic Yasmine introduced me to, and fostered 2 rescue dogs alongside Rex. People asked if I was starting over, but I didn't see it that way. This wasn't a restart, it was a continuation, with different authorship. At the clinic, I met women who hadn't spoken out yet. One handed me a wrinkled napkin with notes scribbled on it. "I don't have a notebook," she whispered. I gave her one of mine, the red cover unmistakable. This time, I said, "You write the ending." On the anniversary of my escape, I hosted a small gathering. Just family, Layla, Yasmine, and a few women from the clinic. We didn't talk about him, not once. We talked about books, dogs, dancing, dreams. My father toasted with quiet eyes, and my mother wore the same gold necklace she'd once given up on protecting. Later that night, as I cleaned up, I caught my reflection in the hallway mirror. The woman staring back looked nothing like the bride Karim once claimed. She looked stronger, softer, certain. I lit a single candle beside the framed red notebook, not in mourning. In honor, not all stories of escape end in headlines. Some end in small apartments, with warm light, safe silence, and the quiet, fierce joy of being free, and never needing to ask permission again.